Hello, my name is Matthew Perez, and this is my video for the theory of ethics. In this presentation, I'll be discussing several ethic theories. I'll be applying two of those theories to public administration, and then I'll discuss the virtue theory and apply that to public administrators. There are several popular ethic theories, and today I'm going to discuss five. The first one is one of the oldest, and it's called the divine command theory. And this is the idea that moral and immoral actions are commanded to us by God. For example, the Bible gives us the Ten Commandments to tell us what's right and wrong. The divine command theory is something that's highly debated, and in the 13th century, St. Thomas Aquinas thought, who is seen on the top left-hand corner, thought, what about people who aren't familiar with God? How do they know how to be moral? So he developed the natural law theory, in which he believed that people were naturally born with morals that were given to them by God. It's interesting to note that not only did he believe that humans had this, but also any living organisms such as plants or animals. And if we move to the 17th century, another theorist named Thomas Hobbes, who is seen on the top right-hand corner, developed contractarianism, in which he believed morality exists with a group of people because the benefits outweigh the costs. For example, an explicit contract can exist with two neighbors who want to be good neighbors because the benefits outweigh the cost of not being a good neighbor. And we move to the 18th century, another theorist named Immanuel Kant, who's seen on the bottom left-hand corner, developed categorical imperative theory, in which he believed people follow commands for pure reason and not because of God or religion. And so he believed that laws were created because they were rational and not because it was something that God told us or the Bible said. For a more recent example of that can be having a speed limit of 25 miles per hour in a school zone is something that's rational, even though it's not in the Bible. And also in the 18th century, two other theorists named Jeremy Bentham, John Stuart Mill, developed a utilitarianism theory, in which they believe that morality can be existed when you focus on results or the consequences of your actions. And an easy example of this can be someone who wants to get an A in a class is willing to put in extra work and motivated to study. So it's interesting to see how these five popular ethic theories advance from being something that God commanded all the way to a more rational approach. Now let's apply some of those ethic theories to public administration. And let's start with the categorical imperative theory. Knowing what's right from wrong is very important in the public administration field, especially since there are a lot of confidential files that we deal with, and it's important not to disclose any of that information to the public. And we can also apply utilitarianism theory um, as well, and when we're focusing on results. For example, when we're tasked with creating a city or county ordinance, it's important that we involve the public and elected officials to make sure that it's something that they're both in agreement with and there won't be any setbacks down the road. Now let's talk about the virtue theory, which was developed by Aristotle, in which he believed being a good person would result in positive outcomes. And this most certainly can be applied to public administrators, who often have to deal with ethical dilemmas on a regular basis. For example, it's important for public administrators to disclose um, critical budget-related items to department heads, even if it's not what they desire. And it's also critical for departments to select a vendor on a request for proposal, even if that's not the vendor that was desired from the department head. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a good week. And here's a list of my references.